Melanie, first and foremost, I was looking at your two different podcasts and I was noticing something that was pretty much almost a stamp. You know how when you have a stamp, like a rubber stamp, every single time something looks almost the same. Now you could put that stamp in a different color and it'll look that color. But what I mean is almost every episode's in that 20 to 30 minute mark. My episodes are not like that. The listener might think that they need to do this length or that length, but I want to discuss the length of an episode with you for a little bit. And there's a lot of questions around it because sometimes it's easy to go over when you're having a good time or when you're asking extra questions. And so my first question about the length of an episode is like, do you have a timer or how is it that you're getting all these so consistently like a rubber stamp?
Such a great question. And thanks for having me, Adam. It's you have such an awesome podcast. I've been very, very much looking forward to our conversation today. So I've studied neurolinguistic programming as part of my career track. And one of the things about neurolinguistic programming is there's a concept of being in time or through time. And I am the person who it's through time. I can see where I am in time at any given moment. And because I can see where I am in any given time, I'm really good at managing time. So that's the truth of it. And we were talking in the green room a bit about my background with podcasting. I've been podcasting since 2009, 2010, something like that. And before that, I did the OG type of podcasting before we invented it, where I did interviews that would go out via CDs. And so I've been interviewing people for a very, very long time, close to 20 years. And one of the things I know is that the strategic design of a conversation when it comes to podcasting is what creates this intimacy and this connection with your listeners and gets them to want to keep coming back. It's what gets them to say, hey, have you listened to this podcast? Or, hey, do you know Melanie? Like, have you ever listened to Amplify? Because so, the strategic design of each episode comes down to how long does my audience tend to listen to podcasts? And there is science that says 20 minutes to 25 minutes is an ideal time slot. Now, just to be totally truthful and make sure everybody has the full picture, my solo episodes, because I do 3 types of episodes on my podcast, Amplify Your Success, my solos are about 20 minutes because, nobody wants to hear you talk for a really, really long time, right? Well, maybe some people do, like Joe Rogan, maybe, but
I feel like everyone wants to hear me talk a lot.
Oh, yeah, of course, because you have like that sexy radio voice. So of course you would, right? No.
All right. Awesome. So people just kind of turn off after a little while, they
get distracted.
Attention span.
So let's say I'm driving my kids to school and I listen to podcasts. I got a 15-minute drive. Or I'm on my walk. What is that arc of the time that they're going to listen? I'm at the gym. At about the 20 to 25 minute mark, people start getting distracted. And the key is, do they pick back up where they left off? Or do they skip to something else? Like most of us have this shiny object syndrome always pulling us to the next thing. And so I found that 20, 25 minute mark is sweet for my solos. But with my interviews, sometimes we're going 40 to 45. And it's just, can you create a compelling conversation that keeps the listener engaged?
Yeah. So when you schedule an interview, do you tell the guest that it's going to be 20 to 25 minutes? Do you tell the guest to be ready for an hour, but I'm going to try to keep it under 30? Or is there a communication there prior to recording? What does that look like?
I'm really big on pre-framing expectations. And I think the more we can tell people what to expect, the better the experience is going to be for everybody. So I tell people that we're planning for 45 to 50 minutes for our conversation, but that means we're going to be connecting a little bit. We're going to, be testing your tech. And I try to keep the interview to air at around 30 to 35. And then I even do that when I'm in the green room with them, and I'm like, okay, I just want to make sure we're going to go this long. If we're on a roll and it's really like good stuff, we might go a little bit longer, but I try to help them understand how to navigate their answers so that they can think about how long am I going in the answer itself, so that they're measuring their own information sharing.